Moshe recounted to all Yisrael, saying, I besought Yahweh, saying, O Lord Yahweh, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness and thy strong hand. For what God is there in skies or in earth that can do according to thy works and according to thy mighty acts? Let me go over, I pray thee, and see the good land that is beyond the Jordan, that goodly mountain, and the Lebanon. But Yahweh was wroth with me for your sakes, and hearkened not to me. And Yahweh said to me,
Let it suffice thee. Speak no more to me of this matter. Get thee up to the top of the Pisgah, and lift up thy eyes westward, and northward, and southward, and eastward, and behold with thy eyes, for thou shalt not go over this Jordan, but charge Jehoshua, and encourage him, and strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see.
So we abode in the valley opposite Beth-Paror, Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 4. And now, O Yisrael, hearken to the statutes and to the ordinances which I teach you, to do them, that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh the God of your fathers giveth you. Ye shall not add to the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish from it, that ye may keep the commands of Yahweh your God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Baal-Paror. For all the men that followed Baal-Paror, Yahweh thy God hath destroyed them from the midst of thee. But ye that did cleave to Yahweh your God are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and ordinances, even as Yahweh my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the midst of the land whither ye go in to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the peoples, that shall hear all these statutes and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what great nation is there that hath a God so near to them as Yahweh our God is, whensoever we call upon him? And what great nation is there that hath statutes and ordinances so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes saw, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But make them known to thy children and thy children's children, the day that thou stoodest before Yahweh thy God in Horeb, when Yahweh said to me,
Assemble me the people, and I will make them hear my words, that they learn to fear me all the days that they live upon the earth, and that they teach their children.
And ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire to the heart of the skies, with darkness, cloud, and thick darkness. And Yahweh spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of words, but ye saw no form, only ye heard a voice, and he declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even the 10 words, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. And Yahweh commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and ordinances, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed for your souls, for ye saw no manner of form on the day that Yahweh spoke to you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you an engraved image in the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged bird that flieth in the skies, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the water under the earth. And lest thou lift up thy eyes to skies, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of the skies, thou be drawn away, and worship them, and serve them, which Yahweh thy God hath allotted to all the peoples under the whole skies. But Yahweh hath taken you, and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, out of Mithraim, to be to him a people of inheritance, as at this day. Furthermore, Yahweh was angry with me for your sakes, and swore an oath that I should not go over the Jordan, and that I should not go into that good land, which Yahweh thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. But I must die in this land. I must not go over the Jordan. But ye shall go over and possess that good land. Take heed to yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of Yahweh your God, which he made with you, and make you an engraved image in the form of anything, which Yahweh thy God hath forbidden thee. For Yahweh thy God is a devouring fire, a jealous God. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have been long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make an engraved image in the form of anything, and shall do that which is evil in the sight of Yahweh thy God, to provoke him to anger, I call skies and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereto ye go over the Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall be utterly destroyed. And Yahweh will scatter you among the peoples, and ye shall be left few in number among the nations, whither Yahweh shall lead you away. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But from thence ye shall seek Yahweh thy God, and thou shalt find him, when thou searchest after him with all thy heart and with all thy soul, when thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee. In the latter days thou shalt return to Yahweh thy God, and hearken to his voice. For Yahweh thy God is a merciful God. He will not fail thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he swore an oath to them. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and from the one end of the skies to the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. Did ever a people hear the voice of a God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard, and live? Or hath God tried to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by trials, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by an outstretched arm, and by great terrors, according to all that Yahweh your God did for you in Mithraim before your eyes? To thee it was shown, that thou mightest know that Yahweh, he is the God. There is none else besides him. Out of the skies he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he made thee to see his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought thee out with his presence, with his great power, out of Mithraim, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou, to bring thee in, to give thee their land for an inheritance, as at this day. And thou shalt know therefore today, and thou shalt cause it to return to thy heart, that Yahweh, he is the God in skies above, and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. And thou shalt keep his statutes and his commands, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days in the land, which Yahweh thy God giveth thee for ever. Then Moshe set apart 3 cities beyond the Jordan toward the sunrising, that the manslayer might flee thither, that slayeth his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in time past, and that fleeing to one of these cities he might live, namely Bothor in the wilderness, in the plain country, for the Reubeni, and Ramoth in the Galaad, for the Gadi, and Gaulon in the Bashan, for the Manasseh. And this is the law which Moshe set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies, and the statutes, and the ordinances, which Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, when they came forth out of Mithraim, beyond the Jordan, in the valley opposite Beit Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorri, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moshe and the children of Israel smote, when they came forth out of Mithraim. And they took his land in possession, and the land of Og, king of the Bashan, the 2 kings of the Amorri, who were beyond the Jordan toward the sunrising. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, even to Mount Shihon, the same is Hermon, and all the Arabah beyond the Jordan eastward, even to the sea of the Arabah, under the slopes of the Pasgah. And Moshe called to all Israel, and said to them, Hear, O Yisrael, the statutes and the ordinances which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and observe to do them.